them apart, but now they're together. They're two wacky gringos in all kinds of weather. When it's sunny, they're funny. When it's rainy, they're zany. They're two gringos who sometimes do bits. There we go. Now we're recording.
Hey,
Hi. Hi,
hello
Michael.
everyone.
Hello, everybody out there. We're two Bit Gringos. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Michael.
Yeah, that's him. Michael.
Yeah,
There we go. I can never remember which way to point.
I know. We have to.
On the Zoom screen, I'm on your right,
I know.
but I have to point.
How does that happen?
I don't know. It's always different on everybody's screens. Well, hey, we do have a guest coming in, I hope, soon.
Yeah. We are very hopeful for the guest to arrive.
Yeah.
And if not, it won't be the first time.
That's true.
We've been stood up.
Well,
We've been stood up so many times in our lives, Patrick.
So many times. Left at the altar, stood up at the prom.
Yeah.
I know, it's sad.
I know.
Oh, no, she'll be here. I'm sure of it. I'm positive.
Yes.
Kind of. Well, as you can see, I'm in front of the beautiful Roosevelt Hotel in downtown Hollywood, California.
I see that. Is that a landmark hotel?
It is actually. There's the first Academy Awards were held here.
Wow.
And I shot a series of Chevy commercials here in the 1990s. And up on top of the hotel, there's a little cottage that I got to see that almost nobody ever gets to see. And the cottage is where Clark Gable and Carole Lombard spent their honeymoon.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's old Hollywood history.
I see.
How about you, Mike? How are you doing this week?
I'm doing fine. There is, as we noted last week, some new optimism that restrictions will be lifted. And I don't know the dates by heart, but sometime this month, things are going to be, I think it's the 29th, you're going to be able to dine in a restaurant, and October 14th, international flights will be open.
Right on.
I believe those are the dates. So people are feeling a little upbeat and happier for the most part.
I like that.
Yeah. And how about you? You're wearing my favorite Brooklyn shirt.
Brooklyn, yeah.
Brooklyn shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody gives me trouble when I walk into the room.
That's right.
They see Brooklyn, they go, oh, this guy is a tough guy.
Yeah.
And must be a great bowler, too.
You're like a sidekick from a 1940s movie. Brooklyn. We're going to get Brooklyn to do the job.
Hey, yeah, fellas, let's get Brooklyn to do the job. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, see? Yeah.
Yeah, right?
So you were telling me about the heat out there in Los Angeles.
Oh, the heat. Oh, my, the heat. Yes, it was a record temperature yesterday, 121 degrees here.
Oh, my God.
120. Can you imagine what that feels like? 121 degrees.
I don't think I can. But I do know that you can probably cook an egg on the engine of a car, the hood.
No, you could cook an egg in your hand. You just hold it out for a few minutes.
You could probably cook an entire meal, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I didn't. You know what? Here's the thing. I didn't actually go out into the heat because not only was it 121 degrees, but we've got not forest, but wildfires burning. There's two major ones burning in east of the LA area. And the smoke is completely covering the city here. This shot of the Roosevelt Hotel was from a couple of weeks ago when the air was clear. It don't look like that now. It's just mud city up there. Yeah.
You know, I'm only joking when I say really good decision on your part to leave Boquete and travel to California.
Boy, If I had a nickel for every good decision like that I've made, I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah, here we are in Boquete. Oh, yeah, we had a heat wave. I think it went up to 72.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's good news that they're opening the borders, because we'll be working
Yes,
our way back there as soon as possible.
yes, yes.
We have a couple issues here to clear up, and once that's dealt with, we'll be homeward bound, home to
And
Boquete.
I have to send a shout out to my daughter, Shoshana, who is in North Carolina, and I'm planning to visit when it all opens up, who works in, I guess you call it the hospitality, food and beverage kind of industry,
Okay.
and warned me, because she is working right now, and said, don't go out because of all the cleaning and things they do. You know, even where they follow all the rules, she said it's so hard. You know, they have to clean every chair and every table, and they forget one thing. And can you imagine the amount of cleaning and
Wow.
that they have to do now?
Oh man,
I
it's
mean,
got to be
it's
horrendous.
disinfect everything. So
Well, and that industry is really one of the hardest hit by all of this.
yeah.
Here in California, you still can't go into restaurants or country clubs or anything like that indoors. You can eat outdoors. A lot of places have put up tents in the parking lot,
Nothing
But
like eating out in 121-degree heat. That's
yes, yes. So I feel for Shoshana. Hi, Shoshana. I feel for you, because that's hard work, and you guys are really getting.
She'll never watch this.
You're getting hammered. I know.
No, she'll never see this. So
My friends and relatives don't watch it either. They're like, oh yeah, that thing, that two-guy grid, that thing. I don't. Yeah. That's okay. Hey, we got like 61 subscribers now. We have.
Wow.
People are watching this in droves.
And hit the whatever bell or whatever.
Yeah, hit that bell. Yeah, that subscribes you and gives you notifications. Yeah. Hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Ding dong. Ding dong bell. Well,
but by the way, I'm still in my YouTube addiction. YouTube is.
Oh yeah, what are you into now? Is there
Oh my God! Well, I'll tell you, I used to be a big tennis fan, and there was breaking news today that will really date the show. But what's his name? I forgot his first name. Djokovic got disqualified, or not disqualified. I don't know what the term is. He got thrown out of the U.S. Open because he accidentally, he hit a kind of a tennis ball in anger, and it hit one of the judges. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Yeah.
I had a similar thing happen to me once. Playing tennis.
Playing in the U.S. Open?
Well, wasn't exactly open. It was high school, and I was like the worst. Still am the worst athlete on the planet. In high school I weighed 90 pounds and I was a wheezy asthmatic, but they said, no, you got to play the tennis. And I had a gym instructor. I think his name was Mr. McGuire. He was Mr. Colorado 1955 and a former Marine Corps drill instructor. I mean, the dude was a brute, right? And I was a punk, kind of. So he was yelling at it. We were lined up and he was yelling at everybody. And he turned around and I took my tennis ball and my racket and boom, nailed him right in the back of the head. Yeah, that made me popular while everybody was doing 100 push-ups.
Wait a minute. Were you aiming for him?
Well, no.
Oh, you just
accidentally
hit former Marine Corps drill instructor in the head with a tennis ball.
Did I mention I was an idiot? I'll never forget what he said to me one day in the locker room. He planted his hand firmly in my chest and pushed me into the locker, and it kind of bowed in. And he said to me, "Get a haircut, freak." Well, I'll never forget those words. And I did. And look, today,
Yes. Yes.
no one will ever say that to me
Yeah,
again.
I think we all did. We all got that same haircut. But yeah, that's the kind of guy you want to have teaching your adolescent.
Yeah.
Now.
He was, yeah, it was strange and interesting, but so tennis, I'm sorry, I kind of hijacked your story a little.
No. That's I'm just mesmerized by YouTube because they're constantly recommending things for you to watch based on things you watched before. So you never know where it's going to lead. And but I have to tell you a high school story, also a sports story. I was not athlete either. But we had a swimming pool. Now nobody believes this. You may not believe this. We had a swimming pool. My high school was built in like 1930 something. The swimming teacher won a gold medal in, I think, the 1932 Olympics. I think he was like a gold medalist. I think it was 1932. And now just the boys, this is just boys, we had to swim naked in the pool. Yeah. The reason being because they didn't want you to take your bathing suit and wet bathing suit, put it in the locker room and everything rust or whatever. So for that reason, we would swim naked. Now, a few years later, they invented the swimming suit. I don't know what material it was made of. The Speedo, it was like
Like the
Lycra
spandex
or something. I don't know. And then they allowed you to wear that. But I was not even. I was a terrible swimmer, and all this guy would do was like he would say, "Okay, boys, sit on the the edge of the pool," and then he would just kick you into the pool. So that was my swimming. I don't ever remember learning how to swim or anything, but we just kind of splashed around, I guess.
But hey, splashing around naked in the pool, I mean, that's
Naked
a lot
in
of
the
fun,
pool,
right? Okay, hey.
Yeah, and that caused me irreparable psychological harm.
Irreparable harm. I know, huh? Yeah, looking back on our high school careers, it's a wonder we're alive, period.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The kids today, those kids they don't know what we went through.
Yeah. Oh, they have pandemics and
yeah. Put a mask on, easy. I want to see you swim naked in a pool.
Oh.
Well, no, I don't.
No, nobody wants that.
That came out.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad you amended that.
Yes.
Yeah. I was, like I said, I was like the worst athlete ever. I injured my friends more often than not. Playing basketball once, I accidentally knocked one of my friends out unconscious. Playing softball, I accidentally broke a kid's arm. People didn't tell me, after you hit the ball, don't just let go of the bat. You got to hold on to that, then drop it, then run if you get a hit. Well, let go.
Are you sure your nickname is Brooklyn and not picked last?
Oh, everybody would fight over me, Yeah, when they're picking teams, it's like, okay, now you take Reynolds. No, you take Reynolds. Yeah. It wasn't illustrious, and as a result, I have no friends almost from those days. So they're all dead or injured,
Yeah. Well, I played. We in my day, growing up in New York City, we had the greatest invention for a kid, and there were two types. It was the round rubber ball. Do you remember that round, like pinkish rubber ball?
Oh yeah.
There was the Pensy Pinky, which I preferred, and then there was the Spalding. We called it Spalding, but it was Spalding.
Spalding. Accent on the
Spalding.
second.
If you're in New York, you call it a Spalding. But the real name is Spalding. So and that was a grayer kind of, and a little harder. But oh man, with that and a stoop or a wall. You could play anything. Stickball, you know, if you had a stick, you could, you know, that was great. 25 cents, I think it was, for a long time.
Yeah, cool.
So we even, you know, and I had this neighbor, sometimes you would hit the ball, you know, if you're playing like stickball, and it would roll into the sewer, and you think, damn, I lost the ball. No, you haven't. Because my friend would go, all right, run to your house, get me 2 of those wire hangers. And then he would fasten this little thing like a golf ball retriever, you know. Yeah, we would just retrieve it out of the sewer. So,
perfect.
You know,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a, you know, the Super Bowl by Whammo?
Yeah, when that came out, the Super Bowl, yeah.
Did you ever play with it more than once? Boom, you bounce that thing, it flies over to the next block.
I know. You bounce it, like I lived on 232nd Street. You bounce it on 232nd Street and you see it, you know, 3 blocks down. You go,
yeah.
Some other kid is gonna bounce it once.
Yeah, it was a brilliant toy idea. I can, you know, they said, you know, I can hear the conversation. I know. Let's make a product that the kids can only play with once. Then they have to buy another one.
That's right.
We'll sell millions of these things to the same kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Another flawed business plan that never, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of like those click clacks. Remember those click clack things?
Oh my God, those were terrible.
That was a lot of fun, except you know, super dangerous. But
I had bruises all up and down my arm. I looked like a heroin junkie or something, playing with that stupid thing.
You look like a heroin junkie, but you're only addicted to the click clack.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
The fun days of childhood.
Yeah. Growing up.
Because, you know, they didn't make you wear helmets or anything.
No. We had a thing. I don't know if where did you grow up in? Where again?
I grew up in Denver, Colorado,
Denver.
The Mile High City.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool, though. You know, I grew up in Denver. That sounds like, you know.
Yeah, you would think so, but nah. I'm sure
like
it's a lovely place now, Denver. I'm sure it's great. In the 60s and 70s, nah, not so much.
I don't know. Sounds like ski trips and picnics. That's what it brings to mind.
Yeah, we were working class poor. We never went skiing.
Wow. Well, I grew up in New York City, and we had a thing called the monkey bars. Did you have
monkey bars. Yeah.
That was, I mean, who came up with the monkey bars? That's like the dumbest thing.
I don't know.
And they were always over concrete, you know? It was like, so if the kids fall, it's like, well, back then it was like, you broke an arm. That's not too bad, you know?
Ours was over a thin layer of sand at the school I went to.
Wow, you had that. You were.
Yeah. I scraped a hole. In fact, there's still a scar somewhere. Scraped a hole in the top of my head on the monkey bars. That's how I found out the layer of sand was very thin.
Yeah. We found out, you know, there was always that one kid who actually was kind of part monkey, you know, who would be like with his legs and he'd be upside down swinging, you know, and you'd be like, what the hell are you doing, you know?
Yeah. That's how I hurt myself. I mean, we'd have a race. You start on one side and you have to like do a somersault around the bar, kind of, and then grab the next bar and do the same thing. And the kid, my friend that I was racing with, it hurt, you know, when I did it, but I didn't think it was horrible. And he looks at me and he screams and yells for the principal, Miss Nelson, Pat scraped a hole in his head. That's what they called me in those days. He's got a hole in his head. And, you know, I put my hand up here and I looked and it was covered in blood. Then I started to freak out. It was, you know, it was a little.
It seems like you have a lot of stories like that. And I put my hand down and it was covered in blood.
I did a lot of self-injury and other injury, you know, to people when I was a kid.
You just wanted
none
to
of it
get
on purpose.
The monkey bar hour, you know, the recess, monkey bar recess.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just you
top
know,
top athlete.
not,
Measured
yeah,
well. Yeah.
which
Well,
is why to this very day, I'm just not very outdoorsy or athletic. The most athletic I've been was playing golf for a few years, and
yeah.
I don't even do that anymore, you know.
I could play a few sports, but I never had that killer instinct. I
Yeah,
could be good. I played baseball. I was pretty good. I played
yeah.
football. Uh, but you have to be really, really good at sports. You have to have what I call the killer instinct.
Yeah, it was never that was never a thing that I had ever, you know.
Yeah.
I
Killed
enjoy playing,
yourself. It
huh?
seems like you wanted to kill yourself on the monkey bars.
Yeah, that was it was not a killer instinct, it was more of a suicidal instinct, maybe.
Yeah, not really good for sports.
Nah, nah.
Success in a sporting career.
Yeah. And you know, for a while in the 80s and 90s, I was really into watching sports. I loved basketball and all kinds of stuff. I would watch, you know, football or whatever. Then one day I just figured out because I was a big Laker fan, right? Magic Johnson, Kareem. I got to see them at the Forum live, you know, playing. And but I don't know. I would my team lost, the Lakers lost, man. I'd be bummed out for days, you know, or whatever other team I was rooting for. And I have a special knack for rooting for teams that are going to lose. Um, So if I'm betting on a team, you should bet on the other team because my team's going to lose, right? But one day it occurred to me, you know what? These all these athletes, if they lose the game or the championship or the Super Bowl, they're still millionaires.
Yes, they are.
You know what? I don't care, and I stopped watching most sports. You know, well, it's entertainment, but I don't care anymore.
Well, I grew up watching, the major sports quite a bit.
Yes.
My father was a big baseball fan, uh, and at some point in my life, I don't know, I kind of had a revelation also, like, this is what is this all for? It's
Yeah.
kind of meaningless. It's great. They have athletic achievements, but it's
Yeah.
when you see the fans just buying all that gear, it's all a big business. I mean, we
Well,
know
it
that.
is.
I'm not anti-business, but they're
No.
just selling the logos and selling the things, and
Yeah.
the team owners making trillions of dollars, whatever.
Right.
And the
Right.
people in the fans are like, my team, my team, my team. It's like, what does it all mean? But
And then
I
people.
did see a very funny. I had a friend who took me. Jason, thank you for taking me to. He had season's tickets to the Jets, and he took me to a few games. And there was one. I'm sure if you go to see live football, which I don't even want to do anymore, but if you
Right.
do that and you enjoy it, it's great. And you see a lot of weird stuff. But they were playing. The Jets were playing the Buffalo Bills, and in the stands, they were all Jets fans except for one guy at the bottom, and he actually had that hat with the horn on, the
Oh
Buffalo
God.
thing, and he's in front of everybody. And every time Buffalo did something like, scored a touchdown or something like that, he would turn around and he's facing like, an ocean of Jets fans. And he would, he'd be like, Buffalo, Well, you just don't do that in New York. People started throwing stuff at
Oh,
him,
dude.
and before long, the security people had to take him out of there more for his security than for anybody else to protect him. But for me, it was just so funny. People are so into their teams that
I know. I
it's
know, man.
crazy.
They lose all perspective. By the way,
Yeah.
last week we talked about. I mentioned that I saw the Miracle Mets win, and you're right. It was 1969, not 1968.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was
But
9.
what game did you go to? Because this will be freaky.
Well, I was at home on TV. I didn't go. I
Okay.
never
Because
went.
I went. I think that was the year they won in 5. I went to Game 4. I
Oh,
remember. I went to
cool.
before, you know.
So yeah, and Tom Seaver just passed away.
He did, yeah. Like
did he pitch that game that you went to? Do you remember?
You know what? He may have. I don't really remember, but I'm sure he pitched game one, and I don't know if they were on a rotation. Like I think it was like Jerry Kuzman or somebody back then, but it was like Tom Seaver, and then somebody. I don't know if he pitched game three or if they had a third starter. I don't know. I don't remember.
Wow. But listen to us. We almost sound like baseball fans here. Yeah.
Well, I was, you know, a big Mets fan too. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to go to Banner Day. We used to make the crappiest banners. We used to let all the people walk on the field with their banners, and then they would choose a winner and they would win something, you know. And every year that I went, it was like, Mom, can I have a sheet? Because I'm going to paint a banner, you know. And we would just take a sheet and go, let's go Mets, you know. And it wasn't a very creative banner, so we never won, of course, anything. But, that also irreparably harmed me psychologically. So
yeah, those things can happen. That same, let's see, I'm trying to think, because the World Series was in October, right?
October, probably, yeah.
August of that year, my family took a road trip to Chicago, and we got to see a Cubs game. That was my first ever professional sports in person kind of a thing. And my family, they were big Cubs fans. And the two things that stand out the most, well, one, the Cubs were playing the Atlanta Braves, and Hank Aaron hit a home run and won the game for the Braves. So Cubs lost, you know. But the thing that stands out most were the hot dogs. It was right then when I fell in love with hot dogs. And the guy selling beer, there was this big, really fat dude, and he would go up and down the aisle going, beer, beer. I thought it was sheep or a goat or something at first. But that's the thing that sticks out way more than the actual game itself.
I know. Actually, when you're a kid, those vendors, that's some of the most exciting action, you know, in the stadium, you know, because they're throwing stuff. I didn't know how they did that. You know, somebody, even I think hot dogs or they had like peanuts or something like that. Yeah. They would toss it. You go, hey, you know, there's a couple rows down. They would toss it, and it was very good. And somehow they passed the money to them.
Absolutely.
It was a lot of fun, you know.
And same with the hot dogs, you know. Well, they wouldn't toss them; they just pass them down the row, you know. And
in New York, usually the beer vendors go, beer here, beer here.
Cool. Hey, speaking of baseball, hot dogs in New York, in one of the local supermarkets in LA, they've started selling Sabrett hot dogs. Sabrett, which are, if you go, look at this, our time is up. Well, we got a couple more minutes. If you go to a hot dog cart, that's the kind of hot dog you're going to get.
Yeah, those are good.
They're delicious. Yeah.
Usually,
Chicago, it's Vienna wieners.
General rule, kosher hot dogs are pretty good. I would stick with the kosher. You don't have to be kosher to love a kosher hot dog.
Kosher hot dogs, yeah, you can't go wrong. You get the meat wieners, you know, the cheap ones, and it's almost like being in Panama because they're not very good.
Well, you never know what you're going to find. You get one of those cheap hot dogs, you know.
Hey, but you can still get now at the Price Mart. You can get the Hebrew National dogs.
Hebrew National, yeah.
Which are excellent hot dogs.
Which we know our guest from last week is never going to purchase.
Yeah. She'll never know the joy.
Because you can't pick a Hebrew National hot dog off a tree. You know, if you could pick it off a tree, it would be
She would eat
edible.
It. Yeah. Well, you know, every city has its own specialized hot dog. You know, you got your Chicago dog with sport peppers and the bright green relish. And people will stab you if you try to put ketchup on it, which I find a little annoying because I like ketchup. And you know, New York dogs, you got a coney dog, you know, with that coney sauce. It's really yummy. And LA is known for danger dogs, which are wrapped in bacon and they're grilled. And the reason they're called danger dogs is because they were banned by the health department.
Wow.
For street vendors because they didn't have any sanitary equipment nearby.
Well, that's when I used to do a little comedy routine. It was about the hot dog vendors. You know, like, where do they wash their hands? You know, it's like they're out there all day long, you know, cooking hot dogs, and they call them dirty water hot dogs
For a reason. Yeah.
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 But I don't want that to, you know,
All right.
go onto their hands. You know, their hands are. Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
I love those hot dogs, the hot dog vendors, you know, and even when I left New York, they were still about $1, you know, like it was always $1, you know, maybe it went up a little bit, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you could have like 3 hot dogs, a soda, and a knish for like $5. You know?
Man, that's living.
That's living.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Cool. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, our guest was unable to join us for, I'm not sure what reason. I'm sure I'll hear about it at some point. Yeah. But we'll reschedule, try to have him on next week.
Okay. So are we going to record this one or? Oh, we did.
Oh, record? Yeah.
What a great idea.
We got to put something up. The fans will clamor if we don't.
Fans. The subscribers. We do everything for the subscribers.
The subscribers. We do this for you.
For you. We care.
We care.
About you, the subscriber.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like those other shows.
Those other shows don't care about you. No. They'll just put up any talking heads babbling nonsense.
Yeah. They'll have anybody sitting in a kitchen.
That's right. Or in front of a fake hotel sign.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great talking with you, Mike.
Yeah, Patrick, great talking with you as always.
Yeah, we had fun, and no matter who shows up or doesn't show up, we'll have fun, right?
We'll always have fun.
We'll always have fun.
Yeah.
Okay, kids. Stay healthy. Stay safe.
You too. Wear the mask.
I wear the mask. I wear the mask and the bandana on top of the mask and the face shield in front of the bandana on top of the mask because you cannot be too careful, right?
Yeah, or go full scuba. Go full scuba.
Full scuba. Oh, cool idea. I'm going to get one of those. Yeah, with the tank.
Flippers and everything. Just walk down the street.
All right, buddy. Stay safe. We'll see everybody next week with a brand new show and maybe even a guest.
Maybe a guest. Who knows?
All right. Adios.
Take care.